Look, the trade that the New York Yankees just made to acquire Ryan McMahon kind of makes no sense and really concerns me a lot about the future of this franchise. Now, Ryan McMahon is not a bad player. He's a fine player. He's a very good defender, but he's not elite. But again, it's still very good defense. But he lacks a bat that really plays anywhere outside of Coors Field, and honestly, even kind of lacks at Coors Field. Before Yankees fans yell at me and get all mad, let's look at the numbers instead of being reactionary. He's never had an OPS plus above 100, meaning with park factors factored in, he has never in his 9-year career been an above average or even average hitter, ever. He's been even worse away from Coors Field. You know, the place that is historic for making hitters look better than they really are. He can hit some homers, sure, although out of his 140 career homers, only 112 of them would have left Yankee Stadium, as he actually goes to the opposite field more than you would think. So the short porch isn't really going to help him out as much as you might think it will. However, he's never even hit more than 25 homers in a single season, and again, this is playing at Coors Field where the ball flies because of the elevation. He's also a strikeout machine, which is exactly what the Yankees need more of, I'm so sure. But he will take his walks, very similar to, Joey Gallo, you know, the guy that Yankees fans hated more than maybe any other player in Yankee history. Really, he is just the infield version of Joey Gallo, except he doesn't have the ability to hit 40 homers like Gallo did multiple times in his career. Defensively, again, he's good, and he's been extremely durable throughout his career, so those are bonuses, but what about the fact that he's going to be playing in New York as a Yankee instead of a Colorado Rocky? He's been a Rocky for his entire career. It's all he knows. You know what's harder than being a Rocky? Being a New York Yankee. He's never had to deal with stress. He's never had to deal with winning. He's never had to deal with harsh fans, a media, anything like that. What he deals with is fans going that aren't even really there to watch the baseball game. They're there to sit out in the sun, drink a beer, and just kind of have baseball on in the background. They're there to socialize. In New York, if you strike out one time, you're getting booed. It's just how it works. He's gonna have to deal with the New York media, the New York fans, everything, and that is a huge change from what he's dealt with in Colorado. Can he handle this? Maybe, but I don't know because I've never seen it. This is just another factor that needs to be factored in. But the biggest issue I have with this move isn't McMahon, because he is good and the cost wasn't steep. Did the Yankees improve their team at the end of the day? Yes, they did, at least by a little bit, but you have to admit that they did improve somewhat. And that's all you can really want with trades every once in a while, right? No, they could have done more than this, and that's where my big issue comes in. Eugenio Suarez is obviously available. Everyone knows that he is available, and there's been a lot of teams interested in trading for him. Why? Because he has 38 homers and is one of the best power threats in baseball and has been for many years. Suarez is a true player that can actually deepen a lineup, and potentially you can put him behind Aaron Judge and be more afraid of walking Judge. Because as we've seen throughout the entire season, if there's a runner on second base and first base is open with 2 outs, you're walking Aaron Judge 100% of the time. And maybe you're still doing that with Suarez, but you might be thinking about it a little bit more if there is a guy like Suarez behind Judge in the lineup. There's not a guy like that behind Judge, and there's not going to be with Ryan McMahon. Once again, the Yankees have caught themselves penny pinching and hoarding their top prospects instead of making a move that's actually gonna move the needle. And I'm a Red Sox fan, so I might be a little bit biased here, but like, their top prospects never become that great. I know Aaron Judge, I understand, he's amazing, I get that, but he came up 9 years ago. When was the last time that the Yankees had a prospect come up and they've blown away the league? Like, Anthony Volpe, sure, he's won a Gold Glove, he's not that good of a baseball player. Jason Dominguez is like, okay, like, is he going to develop into that super prospect that we thought he would be coming through the minors? I don't know, he hasn't proven that he's gonna do that yet, and defensively he looks like a mess. And just about everyone else, like, these guys come up, they treat them like they're the next best prospect, they don't trade them, and then they're out of the league in 3 years. What happened to Clint Frazier? He was supposed to be like a cornerstone piece of this Yankees franchise. Yankees prospects are just always overrated, and it just happens again and again. They don't trade their prospects, and then they lose them for nothing because they aren't that good. Again, you have a guaranteed good player in Suarez just sitting there waiting to be claimed by you specifically, but you don't want to trade Spencer Jones, who has a 40% whiff rate in AAA, meaning he's not going to be able to make contact at the MLB level, George Lombard, who's batting 200 in AA, and Cam Schlittler, who, yeah, he looks good, but like, you don't know what he's going to be in MLB. He's been okay so far, but it's been 2 starts. They just prospect hoard, and it costs them from making a big move that might actually impact their future. Even with the Juan Soto trade, they didn't really give up the biggest prospects ever. Like, they gave up one of their better pitching prospects, sure, but again, their prospects don't normally pan out, and they gave up Michael King, who we knew was a good MLB player, but it was for Juan Soto. Like, I'm not giving them credit for being like, oh, Juan Soto might be the time to push some chips in. Like, obviously it was, but so was Suarez. They didn't even keep Juan Soto because they didn't want to pay him more money than the Mets, which is another whole conversation in itself, but it just feels like they never have enough, and instead of going out and making the big move that would be enough, they put band-aids on their roster. And again, I know that Suarez is a rental and McMahon is here for 2.5 more years. I still think he's a band-aid player. He covers up some defensive problems while creating some offensive problems. It's that simple. If they wanted to really improve, the player was out there to go and improve. And I know that Suarez is not good defensively. I get that too. I don't care. Suarez is a better player than Ryan McMahon, and if you're trying to convince yourself otherwise, you are coping so hard. This is a cop-out move, it's a band-aid move, and honestly, it makes no sense. I can't believe that once again the Yankees say that they're going all in and then hoard their prospects in this way and refuse to make the move that will make a difference. I don't think that this is a move that moves the needle whatsoever, and again, if I was a Yankees fan, I'd be pissed. I think that the move is fine in a vacuum, but when you know who else is out there, and when you know that the Yankees have done this year after year and what the results have been, it's a bad move. It just is. Anyway, let me know what you think. That's what I think.